Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining this class. I'm so excited to share with you how I made this watercolor angel. In the video I'm going to give a quick rundown of the supplies. This is what we will be making, or I'll be showing you how to make anyway. And I'm also going to be providing a sketch that you can print out and trace if you don't want to color or draw your own. But I encourage you to at least try. It's not that hard. Just take some practice. You can do it. First, watercolor paper. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit. This is the watercolor paper I used. It's the Strathmore watercolor block. It's a 400 series. I would not recommend the 300 series or below. It's not worth the money. It's just, I think, garbage. You could rinse your painting right off. It just not good. So anyway, this is the one I used. It comes on a block. You can see on the side here, it's all blocked in. So once it's totally dry, it's totally flat, and you don't have to worry about buckling it all. And then you would remove it on the side here. There's a slit. You'd slide your palette knife in and take the piece off. There's other good watercolor paper you could use. This is another brand I like. It's Arches. It's 140 paper. It's hot pressed, so it actually has a smooth surface because it's hot pressed. The cold press that I just showed you, it does have a bit of texture, which is also fine. That's what I used. But there's lots of good watercolor paper. Just don't go cheap on that. If you're going to buy cheap paints, that's fine, and they work great, but the paper really makes a difference. Okay, so next thing, for the nicer watercolors, I used the Winsor & Newton Artist Watercolor in the Indigo. This is Theo Indigo Violet. There's a Burnt Umber, Lamp Black, the Alizarin Crimson, and Olive Green. And for that, what I did with mine was I bought these cheap watercolor paints, and I picked out all the old or the cheapy watercolors and cleaned it out and added the paints to the palettes, and then I made charts that matched the palettes. So if you wanted to do that, that's great. Otherwise, you can just squirt these out on a plate. I would suggest using just tiny bits because it really goes a long way. Alright, so that's it for the expensive ones. And there's only 6 colors. I tried to keep the palette low so you wouldn't have to buy a bunch if you decided you wanted to try them. For the cheap set, I used this. It's by Artist Loft. You get it from Michael's. It's only like $5 or $2.50 if you have their half off coupon. Any cheap set that's chalky, I think works fine. These all have sort of a chalky consistency. They're not like the Crayolas where they're translucent. You could also use the Lowell Cornell set. That's a chalky set. Will work just fine, but this is the one I used right here. And that's just if you decide you don't want to do the expensive ones, and you can see you get a pretty good painting from, I'm not sure what I did with it. Oh, there it is. Pretty good painting from the cheaper watercolor sets. This is what I started for the video. Anyway, so that's pretty good. Let's see. As far as brushes go, you don't need to go out and buy a bunch of different brushes. Try what you have at home, and then if you think you need to buy one, and same for all this, try what you have at home. These are the ones I used. These are round brushes, 10, a 6, 4, and a 2, and then here's a detail brush or a rigger brush. You don't have to have that, but it's nice to have a detail brush. And then I also used this 3/4 inch angled brush for the background, but you don't have to have this specific brush. You could have used you know, any big brush. Let's see. I also used these Sharpie paint pens. I know you can buy them from Amazon. I bought some on Etsy. I think Dick Blick has them. These are the water-based extra fine point in white and black. And I use these on everything. You'll probably want to also if you get them. I also used micron pens in the 03 and 005 size. These are really nice to have. I use those a lot. And they're black. Oh, there goes my dog. This is not required. Any eraser is fine, but I thought I'd show you these Tombow Mono Zeros, and I probably showed you in the video also, but these are really nice to have. These have tiny points for precision erasing. You can also use a regular eraser, but I like those. And also I have a Graph Gear 500.7 Pentel mechanical pencil. I would also make sure to have watercolor paper near you and clean water. And anyway, that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have fun.